So we have another social media question. How to reach the X and Y generation with social media. So this is a little bit more of a strategy here, but I'll just kind of walk you through it. First of all, a lot of them are going to be on the social networks, and that's kind of the way they communicate. So they're going to be on there a lot. So have a presence on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and also to Google+. And then again, you want to connect with the influencers, with people that you're connected with, and slowly build that. Especially if you're doing this from a business perspective and not from a personal perspective, I would want to connect with as many people as possible and not, some people say, oh, well, I don't want to follow that person or I don't want to follow that company. It doesn't mean that you're totally giving them a stamp of approval. So it's better to be connected with as many people as possible. And then the more that you're going to be active in those networks, they're going to show up on their streams. If someone then comments, so if, say on Facebook, someone with, maybe only 130 followers, and that's kind of the average. So average number of friends on Facebook is like 130, 135. And then just as an example, so they make a post or they share some interesting content, and then I see that and I think, oh, wow, that's great. And I comment on it. Well, now that my comment then goes and can be, technically can be seen by the whatever 3,000 plus people that I'm connected with on Facebook. So you do want to connect with people and interact with them. And then, if one of my connections saw that was useful content, they may reach out and want to connect with. With the younger generation, you want to make sure that your messages are short, bite-sized, use bullets, and distribute that information on the networks. Another thing that sometimes we overlook is making sure that you have the social media sharing icons on your website, just because it may not mean anything to the people that aren't on there and they see these little like blue F or orange G or whatever it is, or this little Tweety bird on there, and it may mean nothing to some of those people, but it may mean, or it will mean, a lot to the people who know what it is. And it could just be natural for them to share information. The next one is the number one way to use social media for promoting your funeral home, and you don't even need to be on any social media. And that is during the arrangement conference, ask if anyone there, especially, and just anyone, doesn't matter what age group they are, ask them, are you on any of the social networks? And then show them how to share their loved one's online obit from your website on Facebook. Just say, oh, now, we'll send you an email and it will direct you to your dad's obit. And if you want just to really get that information out, you can share that on your Facebook page, or even just click the blue share button at the bottom of the obit. And what that will do, that strategy alone will generate more traffic to your website via social media than any of the other elaborate strategies. And not saying that they're not worthwhile, because they are, but that one thing of you've got that person in your office and the most important thing in their life is the death of their loved one. And if you took that obit and shared it on your Facebook page, it's not going to be as nearly as effective. And not saying not to do that. It's not going to be as nearly effective as them sharing it on their page, because their 130 people are going to have a really vested interest with that person, because their friend or their connection had a loved one who died. And if you do this practice, I don't have to tell you, you see all the traffic from Facebook and all the notes on condolences on Facebook. Now, one thing though, make sure that they share your obit on their Facebook page. Don't let them share the newspaper's online obit. Be proactive, get them to share yours. Otherwise, you're just going to lose all that potential traffic. And then another thing, and this is really starting to pick up with Pinterest and Instagram, are kind of the new social media networks. And not saying you need to be on them right away, but the reason why they're taking off like crazy is that they're both super visual. And where Pinterest is where you basically, it's a pin board of where you pin up pictures and things like that. And Instagram is just taking photos on your mobile phone, and it has certain effects and sharing them. And these things are both really taking off. So not that you need to be using that in your overall strategy to market your funeral home, but you want to be aware that, hey, images are a huge thing. So I should be, or we should be, sharing images or photos as much as possible. So if you're at an event and someone in the community is winning an award, you're at the chamber event, the annual awards banquet, take a bunch of pictures of everyone who wins an award or is recognized, share those online, and you'll get lots of comments. Some of the most comments that I've ever gotten on Facebook, hasn't been these awesome marketing ideas that I share with you all the time, that could generate tons of new business. Hardly get, I might get one or two comments, but I share a bunch of pictures of me and my buddies going fishing with a bunch of salmon in the back of the boat and a bunch of blood everywhere. People go crazy for that. And, just recently, we put up pictures of my new baby son, Noah, and got lots of great comments from that too. So, it's kind of more the human side and persona, but pictures do a great job. And the other thing too, I've just kind of put in here is don't kind of waste time with all the gimmicks. There's, different gimmicks of, how to get way more Facebook fans, and it's great to get fans, and anything that you can do on autopilot is great. But my thing is make it efficient. I don't want this to totally waste your time. And I've just got an article coming out and a presentation in the Funeral Futures University that's coming out called Social Media Simplified, Maximum Effect with Minimum Effort. And it just kind of walks you through how to make as big an impact as possible, and then with the least amount of effort, and kind of, it's a little bit of, get in, get out, but you just can be such a time waste. You don't want that to happen. So that's how I would really connect with the younger generation in social media.